Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is your host, Ryan Kennedy, and today's episode topic is inspired from a question in from a listener about spray tans and tanning beds and my thoughts on these things that are commonly used for cosmetic purposes to darken your skin complexion so it looks like you got a nice tan. I want to start by saying that before I dive into the safety and reasons I'm not a big fan of these things, the reason people associate a tan complexion in your skin tone as attractive is through human evolution, because getting sun exposure is very healthy. And so the same way we attribute good body composition, like lower body fat and adequate muscle mass, as attractive in the opposite sex, we have a lot of those same attributions when it comes to your skin. And so a lot of people have recognized that having pale, pasty skin doesn't look good. And so rather than going out and actually getting some sun exposure, which would be tremendously beneficial for their health, they decide, okay, maybe I could put this tanning lotion or go get a spray tan or lay in this tanning bed so that my skin isn't so pasty and pale. This is not the way to go about it, folks. You are missing out on a pristine opportunity to upgrade your biology by getting some of the photons from the sun. This photoelectric effect from the sun is true healing therapy. This is like the bee's knees of how to improve your health. It doesn't get any better than sensible sun exposure, folks. I talk about this all the time. I'm going to continue to talk about it all the time because I'm like shouting it from the mountaintops. The best healing therapy is right outside your freaking window. Go get some freaking sun exposure. Don't mess around with these spray tans. Now, I will say there's obviously issues with cold winter climates where people can't get sun. If you live on the East Coast and there's 4 feet of snow outside, or if you live in a northern or southern hemisphere where you're not very close to the equator, there are times of the year you just can't get sun, and you will naturally have more fair skin. But I would just muster through the winter with fair skin, and then once the weather warms up, go get my sun exposure and get your tan back rather than spray a bunch of crap on your face. Now, today's spray tanners, to get into the meat and potatoes of the question, today's self tanner sprays are not so bad. Back in the day, they were just toxic and horrendous. But most of the ones today, and I can't say all of them, but a lot of them are using a sugar called dihydroxyacetone. And this just interacts with the amino acids in dead skin cells on the surface of your skin to give you this temporary tanning effect. And that's why it only lasts, usually a few days to a week until it starts to diminish. And there are cases of irritation and allergic reaction and, bad things that can happen. But for the most part, it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, I will say tanning beds are absolutely horrendous. I would not recommend anyone do either of these things. But if you were to do like a spray tan using this colorless sugar called that I mentioned, dihydroxyacetone, you could ask about what other ingredients are in the product you're looking at. Is it the end of the world? Probably not. Are you going to be okay? Probably, but I still don't think it's a good idea. And as far as the tanning beds, a lot of people propose that the UVA light spectrum that are used in most tanning beds is safer than the UVB spectrum we get from the sun. This is just not true, folks. This is a blatant lie. And the UVA from these tanning beds can cause skin damage, can cause aging of your skin, can cause skin cancer over time, and can cause all sorts of other problems. They're man-made lights that just don't contain the full spectrum of light we get from the sun. So I wouldn't mess with tanning beds. If you paid me to go in there, I would not step in those things. As far as the spray tans, again, probably okay, but not for this guy. I'm not going to fuck with them. I recommend everyone go out and build a nice, healthy tan the way Mother Nature intended. Get outside, have as much skin exposure as you can without breaking any laws. If you're in your yard, get naked, soak up the sun. Think of your body and your skin like a solar panel, and you're just bringing all this energy into your mitochondria, this flow of electrons. You're increasing so many biological processes that it's like, why would you pay to do something that's not, borderline negative or neutral to your health, that costs money and is, in my opinion, not very enjoyable or convenient, when you could go lay out in the sun and get this immediate boost in your mood, your energy, your biology, your physiology, just everything gets better. You sleep better, you think better, Your hormones get balanced. So many freaking benefits. And what's more enjoyable than going out on a nice sunny day, reading a book? You could listen to a podcast like this one, listen to an audiobook. You can have a phone call, chat with some people that you're hanging out with, whatever floats your boat. Do your workout outside, go for a walk. So many options, so many freaking options. And the biggest thing is, for the sun exposure side of things, listen to my episode I did all about sensible sun exposure so you can learn how to do this appropriately to avoid sunburn, to mitigate any downside risks, and optimize all the benefits. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you found it helpful, please share it along to anyone else you believe it can serve. You can submit your own question to be answered on the show by going to ryankennedyhealth.com/podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review for the show. Your feedback helps to support me on my mission to positively impact as many people as possible with this information. Please note, the information depicted in this episode is purely for informational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare professional before making any changes to your lifestyle or routine.